Hello, good people. Welcome back to another Blessed Message with Lady Di, also known as Minister A. All right, so we're going to be discussing Jonah again. Yeah, Jonah. Okay. And this one is for the youth. This is for some young people who are inexperienced and who are tempted to explore and to hang around with the wrong crowd. You want to be a part of the in crowd. Want to be with everybody. Okay. So we were talking about Jonah and how he was judging Nineveh for their disrespect and disobedience to the Lord. Okay. But he forgot his own disobedience and recklessness in the process. Okay. And God said, you have to go back and share this message, share this word. Okay, so we know that Jonah fled. He fled from what the Lord had given him, his assignments. Okay, so let's read Jonah 1. The word of the Lord came to Jonah. Go to the great city of Nineveh and preach against it, because its wickedness has come up before me. So God gave a direct order. He gave him a task to complete. But Jonah ran away from the Lord and headed for Tarshish. He went down to Joppa, where he found a ship bound for the port. After paying the fare, he went abroad and sailed for Tarshish to flee from the Lord. So he attempted to escape from the Lord. How dare he? Where he thought he was going? I don't know. Then the Lord sent a great wind on the sea, and such a violent storm arose that the ship threatened to break up. All the sailors were afraid, and each cried out to his own God. And they threw the cargo into the sea to lighten the ship. But Jonah had gone below deck, where he lay down and fell into a deep sleep. Okay, here's the thing. Jonah tries to escape from the divine assignment that the Lord had given him. And in this, he boarded a ship. Okay, I just want to be clear where we hit it now. So he fell asleep. He was in a deep sleep. The captain went to him and said, how can you sleep? Get up and call on your God. Maybe he will take notice of us and we will not perish. Then the sailors said to each other, come, let us cast lots to find out who is responsible for this calamity. Okay, the title of this message is going to be Guilty by Association. That's why it's for my young folk. They cast lots and the lot fell on Jonah. So they asked him, tell us, who is responsible for making all this trouble for us? Who's responsible? Guilty by association. What do you do? Where do you come from? What is your country? From what people are you? So now they're asking questions, because it's clear that Jonah is the culprit. He's the reason for this storm that is causing damage to their ship. He's the reason. Guilty by association. He answered, I am a Hebrew, and I worship the Lord, the God of heaven, who made the sea and the land. This terrified them, and they asked, what have you done? Guilty by association. Okay? They knew he was running away from the Lord because he had already told them so. The sea was getting rougher and rougher. So they asked him, what should we do to you to make the sea calm down for us? In verse 12, pick me up and throw me into the sea. He replied, and it will calm. I know that it is my fault that this great storm has come upon you. Okay? So listen, young folks, guilty by association. Here's the thing. You want to be with the in crowd. You want to be with the popular people. You want to be with the people who essentially may be doing the wrong thing. They may not be walking with the Lord. Okay? What happens is you experience the same storm, the same punishment that they will inherit because of their disobedience. Therefore, it'll land on you as well. Guilty by association. So when God sent out his wrath upon Jonah on that ship, everybody that was on the ship experienced the same thing. They were exposed to the wrath as well, because they were associated with Jonah at that point. That's why you have to be careful with your associations. That's it. That is the message. You have to be careful. Because the thing is, they questioned him after the fact. How many of us have been in situations where we're with people who may have done something, but we don't know, we're unaware. And then After the fact, we realized that it was you the whole time. You're the reason for this catastrophe. You're the reason that I'm all caught up. You know, that's why when you're faced a trial, you go to court, they have co-defendants. This could easily be people who had nothing really to do with the actual crime. You hear what I'm saying? It could easily be people who were just there. That's why they say be careful where you go, who you talk to, who you associate with. You could have been in the car. They got something in the car. Y'all get pulled over. All of y'all go to jail now. You have to be careful, young people. Same thing. You can't go to everybody's house. You don't know what they got going on. You have to be careful. Guilty by association. And then once they realize that this is the stranger here, he look kind of odd. He been asleep the whole time despite the storm. What's up with you? They start asking questions and they realize it was Jonah the whole entire time. And they ask, what have you done? Again, sometimes you're in situations that don't really belong to you. They're not your own. And yet you're guilty by association because you were there. Parents who say, hey, come here. I don't want you going there. I don't know about that person you're hanging out with. You have to be careful. Because parents know. Sometimes they can smell it. You know, you live long enough, you gain wisdom. You've been there, done that. Okay, you experience some things. You know that everybody is not your friend. Everybody does not have pure intentions. That's why parents try to protect you from recklessness such as this, okay? Because Jonah did it, and yet everybody was experiencing the punishment. They were experiencing the wrath of God because of their association with Jonah. You have to be careful. The sea was getting rougher and rougher. And they asked, what should we do to you to make the sea calm down for us? He says, pick me up and throw me into the sea. Some folk you got to throw into the sea. Goodbye. Nice knowing you. Throw them into the sea. Of course, we're talking figuratively, okay? We're not throwing people in the sea. However, you have to throw them out your life. You have to shut the door, lock it, close it, keep it closed. You have to throw them into the sea. They mean you no good. They only mean you harm. They're going to bring catastrophe upon your life. That's not the will of God. Non-believers are there so that believers can teach them, can show them, can guide them, can love them. But if you're being influenced by others and you're in a situation where you feel guilty by association, you need to throw them into the sea. That's it. Jonah was the one that was being disobedient to the Lord, and yet everyone was suffering in the process. That's why it's important to be careful about who you choose to befriend. Your parents know. You know, older, wiser folk, they know. They know that some people don't mean you no good. Some people are no good. They are spiritually dead. You hear what I'm saying? They are spiritually dead. They are working for the other side. We know that Satan uses any and everything that he can. He uses kids, teenagers. Yeah, he gets into them. That spirit. And we have to rebuke him out. But, yeah, God wanted me to say, you know, Jonah forgot when he was judging Nineveh and was saying, oh, don't have compassion upon them. That's another thing. How? When you wanted compassion, the Lord could have ended you, and yet he had compassion on you. He gave you a second chance, Jonah. That's the thing. But that's the word. That's what God gave me to say. Pick me up and throw me into the sea, he replied, and it will calm. And you know what? That's exactly what happened. Pick me up and throw me into the sea. So again, some folk got to leave your life. You know, you got to separate from. If you're not the influencer and you are being influenced in the wrong direction, they have to go into the sea so that the storm can calm. If you notice, sometimes when you separate yourself, like the God I serve says, he said, be thee separate. When you're separate from the world, you're no longer influenced by those things. The storm in your life calms. You find yourself at peace. When you keep your mind and attention focused on the Lord, you will experience perfect peace. That's the thing. But you have to be willing to throw some folk, some things, some places into the sea. And that's the word of God. All right, peace-filled people. Walk in righteousness always. I'll talk to you real soon. Take care.